The 8-year assault on your Second Amendment freedoms has come to a crashing end. I like taking the guns early. Take the guns first, go through due process second.
Well, I say go fuck yourself. Then ask a question, could I kill a man? I would enjoy myself. You can't disguise evil eyes that burn up my head. This devil man and his master plan. We feel so misled, so I say, rise up, take it all back. Rise up, take it all back. Rise up. Hope you all understand. We got to take it all back again.
These people are not going to take it any longer. We will never give up. We will never concede. Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. But go home and go home in peace. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. You do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
What up, everybody? Most likely just Tactical Nugs, aka Riddle, aka the love of my life, aka the reason for living. What up, Dragon? How ya doing? I see War Drums at least checked in. That's cool. What up, War Drums? Reb, whatever you want, go by this week. I don't know why he changed it. I don't think we ever had that conversation. I'm gonna have to. You know what? It's been a minute. I'm gonna have to call him. I'm gonna have to call him. What up, OMG? Wiggly Piggly. You at the Piggly Wiggly right now? Man, it's been a while since I've been at Well, actually, no. No, it hasn't been a while. We drove near it. I drove near the Piggly Wiggly when I was in Wisconsin a couple months ago, but I didn't go in. I should have went in. Like, it's not every day I get to go into Piggly Wiggly. It used to be, when we lived there. What up, OMG? What up, Gerald and Mrs. Gerald? Brenda, how you doing? I hope you're getting all your Christmas plans set in motion. How is your Christmas plans going? Tonight's question, and you can, if you're planning on coming into the chat, which we will open up pretty soon, and I know we started a little bit early because I want to end a little bit early. So tonight's end target, the target ending of the stream for me is going to be in 2 hours. So, well, I'll get through the news stories that I kind of caught my eye. I don't think I'm going to read them like I did on the catch up. By the way, the catch up, interesting thing. I've really been kind of missing it. As I said before, I could do it where it's on YouTube and D Live, and I'd love to do it on Rumble. I really would. Right now, financially, I can't justify that because it's like over $25 a month at least. I think it's more than that even. In order to do it. But I'm going to check Rumble and keep checking on it and see if they have a free version or if Restream will allow me to, like if they get put on Restream, then I don't have to pay the paid version of Restream. So that'll cut a little bit of the money out. And then if they have a free version of their live streams, I might do it that way. Anyway, if I did do the catch up still or something like it, I would just do any, news story that I know is not going to be controversial, and then switch off the YouTube, sign out. Okay, everybody on YouTube, we're going over to D Live for the spicy stories, right? Or whatever YouTube don't usually like, and you can join us or not. Here's the links, and maybe they will. They'd be more likely to do that than find me on Rumble or D Live and just watch me there. Don't get me wrong. I love talking to my people. That's why I miss doing the catch up actually is hanging out with all of you on a daily basis. So I'm trying to figure that out. Videos, as I said, editing. I have videos to edit and they're in the can, and I've got at least 6 or 7 videos ready to go. Well, not ready to go, but already filmed. I just have to edit it and put it together in a video format and then upload it and do all that fun jazz. But I really don't like doing it and I keep putting it off. So I'm a procrastinator, if you guys didn't know that. But anyway, tonight's question, and I'm also scatterbrained. Tonight's question is, and you can wait until you're in the chat if you want, or you can type it in the comments, is what did you want to be when you grew up, when you were a kid, and why? I forgot to do this, I think, last week, but I really do like the question of the day, at least for the dragon. I'm going to continue doing that if I can remember, and hopefully Nugs will help me remember that, because I think it's very interesting. It gets us to know each other a little bit better and each other's past. I don't know. It's a cool topic sometimes. The first time we did it, I think it was, what was your first firearm that you purchased or had? I think maybe. I think that was the first one. Question of the day. Yep. What do you want to be when you grow up and kid, and why? Yep. Thank you, Nugs. We should.
You want to pin that?
No, because I have to pin the comment of the link here pretty soon. However, if you wanted to be a porn star, nice. At what age? And well, I kind of know the why, but now I'm kind of curious of what age, because I was a hornball before. Hey, look at Ron Jeremy, OMG. Ron Jeremy ain't a looker. All you have to have is a good package. Although he's not doing too great right now. Sorry for the text message. He's, I believe, in prison right now for sexual assault. So there's that. In an hour. Hold on one second. Okay. Hey, Nugs, can you grab this real quick? Thank you. If I get a text, go ahead and deal with that.
Is that okay?
What up, Solar Savage? Hello from Kentucky? Nice. How are you? Hello from Arizona. We're going to be opening this up to a Dragon Tavern chat here in a minute. I'm just saying hello. Irish is in the house. A motherfucking hustler. Yeah. So, question of the day. What did you want to be when you grew up and why? You can wait to come into the chat if you want or put it in the comments now. I just kind of wanted to quickly go over some stories. I'm going to try not to read through them, like I usually do, but Pelosi is losing grip as more House Dems rush to retire. Awesome, I guess, if you don't like her. And boo if you do, right? Let's just see how many people. We got Stalwart, nice name, California Democrat, Alan Lowenthal. So those two, I wonder if they're both from California. He announced he'll retire in 2022, joining 20 other House Democrats who have declared that they will not run in the midterms. Wow, which already looked bleak for Democrats. According to a melodramatic press release, just every journey, yada, 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 he's quitting. Let's see. Yeah, so what is it? 22, I get. Yeah, 22, right? Joining 20 other. Or actually 21 or 22 of them are gone. And those are old school Democrats that Pelosi has, wined and dined for a long time. And now you got all these new Democrats coming in. They maybe like her, maybe don't. Maybe think that she's not left enough. You know what I mean? What's up, PS? What up, Scars? I'm just going to call you Scars. I wanted to be a firefighter when I was 5 because we were living near a fire station. They let me play with the sirens. Well, that would be cool. Solar Savage does an elbow cough. COVID.
My cough at home. Sorry.
No. We don't do that. Fauci, Bill Gates, Big Pharma, CEOs hit with lawsuits alleging crimes against humanity. Let's see. A former Pfizer executive and several other plaintiffs filed lawsuits that alleges crimes against humanity. Case targets UK Prime Minister Anthony Fauci, Bill Gates, Pfizer, brought to you by Pfizer, CEO Albert, whoever, some other CEOs, somebody from Schwab, former vice president from Pfizer, filed the lawsuit along with plaintiffs who say this right here, this thing that people are putting in their bodies might have, have you ever heard the vaping? Like, it has the same stuff, in vape juice or e-juice that is in your radiator. It's poisonous. Some agree, some disagree. That's supposed to be the great thing about America. You can agree to disagree. Oh, you say the sky is blue? I think it's orange. What are you going to do about it? It's my right to think the sky is orange, bitch. You know what I mean? So I can't really say this, but yeah, they're saying this thing here that you put in your body contains poisons. Nice. It also alleges that the globalist leaders committed numerous violations of the Nuremberg Code, war crimes, and crimes of aggressions in the United Kingdom. Wow. The British plaintiffs filed to have their case heard in England, so they had taken to the World Court with the utmost urgency in an effort to stop the rollout of the, probably the mandate and other things. War crimes also include the destruction of wealth and businesses, severe deprivation, can't read that word, of physical liberty in violation of fundamental rules and international law, expected reduction in fertility, and I didn't hear that one, that's a new one, and other adverse effects. Plaintiffs are making several additional claims. World leaders purposely inflated the cases in order to get, everybody jabbed, I guess. PCR testing and death rates by counting anyone who died within 28 days of a positive test. Yeah, we had lots of reports of people falling off a ladder or getting into a car accident, testing positive, and then being counted in this group. A guy fell off a ladder, but was sick apparently, or at least tested positive, and they put him in that. I wouldn't be surprised if George Floyd, who also tested positive after he died, if they didn't also count him in this group. These deaths are being recorded as sniffles, regardless of whether it was the factual cause of death or not. Yep. The plaintiffs allege that makes cause hypoxia, inadequate oxygen intake, and hypercapnia, excessive carbon dioxide. Okay. They have also asked the ICC to stop this ungodly medical experiment on humankind immediately because other Holocaust and greater magnitude is taking place before our eyes. Yeah. Well, I don't know if that lawsuit's going to go anywhere because there's a lot of powerful people that have a lot to lose, including, I mean, war crimes. That's a death sentence. That's a life behind bars, most likely. There ain't no way they're going to allow that to go through. Let's see. I was underground coal miner for almost 20 years. Holy shit. Wow. That's cool, man. I've looked into coal mining, not to work it, but I always found it fascinating. I grew up with stories from, well, my parents, they had these stories on tape. And there was this one about a coal miner. And of course, I've been in the country forever, and you got Dolly Parton, coal miner's daughter, and all this stuff, right? So I always thought it was cool. And the people in Tennessee, especially, I don't know where you're at. Well, I do because you said, but the people in Tennessee, those kind of people are my kind of people, and they're salt of the earth and coal miners, and I always thought it was really cool. That is cool, man. How is it nowadays? You know, I've never researched it today. I don't know what coal miners go through today. I don't know when you worked last, but you know, it's not only a dirty job, but dangerous for your health, you know, the black lung and all that shit. Hopefully you're not suffering from any of that. Sounds like a hard life. What did you want to be? The funny part, I didn't know I couldn't be anything else. Really? So you wanted to be a coal miner when you were a kid, and you were a coal miner. That's cool, because a lot of people don't become what they wanted to be. But that's a legit job, dude. It's hard to do. Not very many people can stick with it either. But the ones that do, my goodness, mad respect. Biden hit with another blow as Texas receives an injunction against the mandate. Let's see. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has won another case against the Biden administration, this time over healthcare worker mandates. Texas was granted preliminary injunction blocking the administration from imposing mandates on the employees of Medicaid and Medicare providers and suppliers. This is a win for liberty. The federal government does not have the ability to make health decisions for hardworking Americans, Paxton said. These unconstitutional mandates have no place in our country, and they are not welcomed here in Texas. Glad to hear it. Arizona Governor Doug Ducey is quietly banning all public worker mandates. Unannounced executive order regarding enhanced monitoring of certain metrics. Doug Ducey banned public employers from requiring mandates as a condition of employment. The order signed Wednesday primarily reactivates the state's enhanced surveillance advisory, which requires most hospitals to provide constant updates on ventilators, ICU beds, inpatient beds, ED beds, yeah, all that stuff, as well as more detailed COVID patient data. One line stands out. No person shall be required by this state or any city, town, or county to obtain a COVID-19 vaccine, but a healthcare institution licensed pursuant to ARS Title 36, Chapter 4, may require the institution employees to be vaccinated, the order reads. The governor's office was not able for comment. Let's see. Will humble director, Arizona top doctor under Ducey misuse executive power? What's the yeah. Okay, that's good enough for that. So if you live in Arizona like I do, I don't know if that affects you or not, but it's kind of good news. Zuckerberg linked to organization behind, I don't know if I can talk about this one. New filings reveal that hundreds of millions of dollars of Zuckerberg's money was used to privatize the 2020 event. That, happened. Lugwid reported that prior to the election, Zuckerberg-backed Silicon Valley's Community Foundation donated a staggering $328 million to the Center for Technology and another $69.5 million to the Center of Innovation and Research. Cool. If you guys want to read this, I'm not going to... That's a landmine, and I don't really want to read the whole story anyway. So I'm going to put this in the chat. If you guys want to, you can click on that link that I just put in the chat, and that'll take you to the story, and you can read that at your own time if you want. This one was hilarious. Well, I mean, I've been following it when we were doing the evening catch-up on my channel, but it was like, what was it, 16 people, and wasn't like 12 or 13 of them feds? It was a whole bunch of feds setting up like two guys or a couple guys. Informant Robson has a rap sheet stretching back to the early 80s that includes fraud, assault, sex with a minor, and a long and secret history of working as a confidential informant. New evidence of FBI and prosecutorial malfeasance surrounding the alleged plot to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer has called into question both the prosecution's case and tactics the FBI has relied on for decades. Boy, I hope they go to court. Oh, I think the jury might have a field day with this. One FBI agent busted for domestic abuse. A second accused of perjury. A third set up with a security firm touting cases to clients. And a CI indicated on a gun charge is now under investigation for fraud. The report highlights FBI agent Jason Chambers, whose role helping to run a central informant had been crucial to the case, yada, yada, yada. Chambers had incorporated a private security firm prior to the investigation and spent much of 2019 trying to drum up businesses, in part by touting his FBI casework. He parlayed his FBI work hunting for tourists and a private money-making venture called X-Intel, which sought contracts in some cases worth millions of dollars to help institutions identify violent threats, according to those people. Informant Robson has we read that part. Let's see. This is a long one too. I'm gonna give you this one too. Let's see. FBI investigation into alleged Michigan governor kidnapping plot is a mess, tweeted Max Abrams, international security expert and associate professor of political science at Northeastern University. Prosecutors therefore appear to have gone to some lengths to keep his involvement out of the kidnapping case public. Well, if you can't do that. They did that kind of shit in the Rittenhouse trial too, right? The prosecution kept stuff away from the defense, which is a violation of your constitutional right. Well, it was a violation of Kyle Rittenhouse's constitutional right. Wasn't the only one in that case, obviously, but was one of them, right? If you have evidence that can help the defense, you are legally responsible to disclose that. But they try to get around it by sharing the video later. They had it for a long fucking time, but they waited and they waited and they waited. Eventually, they gave Kyle Rittenhouse's defense team the video, but it was a shrunk down version, very, very small. And they're like, well, that's how we got it. Well, we have no idea. Meanwhile, they have the real version, and they have an app on their computer that is for shrinking files down. I kind of hope they get charged on perjury. They should be disbarred, not only for that one, especially that one, but also the Fifth Amendment, that they try to violate his Fifth Amendment rights as well. All right, we're going to jump over to the Dragon, so I'm going to go ahead and shoot up the link. And if you guys want to join and talk about any of these stories or any other of the other stories, you're more than welcome to do so. There is the link. I will pin it. And yeah, let's go. See, where is that? Here. It's been a week since I did this. All right, cool. Hospitals in Bangor area are full now. They are shipping certain people to other hospitals. The bad part is none of them will ever see the inside of a cell. Yo, exactly. Nobody. When's the last time? Well, I guess there's a few times here and there when somebody is so damn guilty they can't help but go after them, or at least call for their resignation. There's a few people that do that, but not too many. All right, we got Gerald in the house. What up, Gerald?
Hey, what up?
How you doing? Oops.
We're doing.
There we go. Apparently, I need to adjust something. There we go. There you are.
uh,
How's it going in Gerald's land?
oh, been a fun week.
Yeah.
Wife decided she didn't like her 4.5 foot white Christmas tree she had.
Oh no.
So she took it down and she put up her 5 foot green Christmas tree. So she had to redecorate that and everything. So that's down here in the kitchen. So that's made a fun couple days.
Yeah. Are you talking like a real tree or a fake tree?
Just a fake tree.
Still, I mean, you got to put it. You got to take all the arms
All,
off, put it in
all
a
the lights
box.
off,
Yeah.
all that. Well, she didn't bother throwing it in a box. She just laid them all out everywhere. Because as soon as she pulled that other tree down, she put her other tree up and put everything back on the other tree.
Jeez.
Then we went Christmas shopping. I got to say, bah humbug.
Oh, I'm sorry I didn't see that comment there, Solar Savage. You do have black lungs? Yeah. Damn. Sorry to hear that. So Gerald, you wanted to be what did you want to be when you grew up? Because OMG wanted to be a freaking porn star.
Yeah. I don't know. Wanted to be a heavy equipment operator.
Nice.
I even went to heavy equipment maintenance school. Got 2 years of that in.
Yeah, my dad was a mechanic for heavy equipment. He worked at some of the local areas, and he'd fix the cats. The big old, I don't know which all, because I was like 8 years old, but I do remember him coming home, and he'd bring me these bearings from their wheels. These things are about this freaking wide, and they have like 9mm size pellet or balls in them in between the next one. And I remember I used to use as a toy. We weren't very well off, so I didn't have a lot of toys, and I was always forced to go out.
Ammunition.
Yeah. Well, I never took it apart, to be honest. I always just played it with it like if it was a wheel or something.
Yeah.
Rolled it around. Kind of like that whole stick in the hoop. Like, oh, back in my day, we had a stick and a hoop and we liked it. Well, I had a bearing and I kind of rolled it around like it was a wheel. As far as me, since I didn't say what I wanted to be, I was, my mother told me that I wanted to be a aeronautical engineer when I was 8-ish. So I grew up thinking that's what I wanted to be for a very long time. And thinking back on it, it would be kind of cool to work on planes, but...
Well, hell, if you went back and looked in my high school yearbook, I said I wanted to be a burden on society and the town drunk.
There you go. No problem, Solar. No problem. But the invitation is there. We're doing this every Friday night. Usually I do it around right now. So it's a little bit earlier today. Not by much. It's just a half an hour. But what up, OMG? Are you driving tonight? I guess he can't talk, or he doesn't have his mic on.
Hey, I found a new drink.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, eggnog and Fireball.
Yes, I found that too. I found that in Indiana. So when I went to go visit Irish, we went to, I think it was a Walmart, and they have it at the Walmart. It's a eggnog with Fireball, and it's absolutely delicious.
But that's the alcohol-free version.
No, it had Fireball in it.
Yeah.
It had alcohol, just not as much as I might have put in.
Yeah. I think you probably take about half a glass Fireball and the rest with eggnog, and
yeah,
that'd be all right.
I was thinking, I'm thinking about finding that George Washington eggnog recipe. I think somebody recommended it in the Dragon last week, and I looked it up, and I think I might make that this year. Yeah. OMG is driving. I wonder where he's at. If it's I don't want to make him do anything dangerous.
Looks like it's raining.
Yeah, he's got the wipers going.
Yeah, the roads look wet, not white. So
Yeah, I got
we
to
got
see him again just a couple days ago. Actually, I would imagine he's on his way home because a couple days ago he was here in Phoenix, going that way. So he's probably on his way home.
the other night we got like 2 inches of fresh snow overnight, and like 4:30 in the morning, the dogs wanted me to let them out. I come down to let them out, and it was just changing over to rain then. Now it's pretty much melted all off again.
Wow.
And we're supposed to get 2 to 4 tomorrow. So that rain, he's probably OMG's driving in tonight. It'll be snow when he gets here tomorrow.
Merry Christmas to you, Lance Corporal. I don't know if we're going to be doing one next Friday. I just thought about that. Next Friday is Christmas Eve. Although, yeah, probably not.
Well, if you do, I'll show up.
All right. I'll have to think about it. Because we might go out and do something. We haven't got, well, money's a little
See,
tight.
around here, Christmas Eve at 7 o'clock at night, everything closes.
I would imagine.
Even McDonald's closes.
Really?
Yeah, everything. You've got one or two convenience stores like that is like Circle K's or something
You're right.
that stay open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They'll be open, but that's it.
Huh.
You hit a convenience store, and Rogers Market will open up Christmas Day from like 10 to 2. So if you forgot something, you better be there before 2 to get it.
Yeah, it's only 4 hours. That's not much time at all.
It's just a little convenience store here in town.
I mean, a lot of places around me close, but yeah, the grocery stores will probably be open for a little bit. And convenience stores, obviously, are always open. I don't know. Walmart might be closed. I don't ever go there.
Here, Walmart and everything will be closed 7 o'clock Christmas Eve.
Yeah. You got any good plans for this Christmas? Are you just staying home, or what? You got family coming?
Actually, it's just going to be me and the wife. My brother still don't know if he's going to come over for dinner or not.
Yeah, so we're gonna spend it with our neighbor Joyce. She's a great old lady, and we've adopted her as our mom. So we're gonna go make Christmas tamales. I don't know if we're doing that Christmas Day or Christmas Eve or when, but we're gonna be doing it next weekend, I guess.
Yep.
Just went out and got all the ingredients for it, so I guess that's an Arizona. Oh, I don't know if it's Arizona, but it's probably like at least a southwestern thing. Yeah, tamales for Christmas.
See, around here, it's usually like a turkey dinner or ham dinner or something like that.
There's a lot of people that eat that here too. It's just the people who like tamales usually like, it's a reason to have tamales. Let's do it.
I got a friend of mine does lasagna, so
Not bad.
Christmas lasagna dinner.
Well, I think getting back to Solar Savage's point of no one's ever going to see the inside of a cell. Yeah, well, I don't know. It all depends. It all depends on if the people get tired enough to not care if there's going to be a Fed in the group, right? With the whole Michigan thing, that's a very prime example. You had like 12 Feds and 2 or 4 non-Feds. And they're basically conspiring and making these people think that they're part of a group. At some point, though, you're going to be like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't give a shit. I'm so pissed. If there is one, we'll find them. We'll deal with it however we deal with it. They might never be found again and, get shit done. It's going to take that kind of pissed off level in order to then do anything about the people who need to see justice. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, yeah.
Will it happen in our lifetime?
Probably not. I've been hearing about this since I was in high school back in the 80s.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. And you got to think about it. The founding fathers, they did it, right? They signed that death warrant when they signed the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence, knowing full well that they were committing treason against the crown, that all their property is now going to be seized if they can, right? Or they're going to go after them, and they know who they are. Yet they didn't care, even though they had feds in their group. Today's, back then they would have been British sympathizers, but their friends were ratting them out, going to these meetings and like, oh yeah, I think the British are horrible people. We should totally do this. Meanwhile, then going to the British, like they said this, and this, and they're located here. But they still did it. We got to get to that.
The thing is, when are they going to get enough people together to get to that?
It is harder nowadays than it was back then. Back then, you could probably have a pretty good sized group without any feds in it. Today, everything is monitored. And that's that should have been dealt with years ago, but it's been that slow boil of a frog for at least 100 years.
And where are you going to get the leaders to stand up to say, hey, it's time to do it?
Because you won't get the normal everyday citizen to join up. And I had said that a while back, even on the catch up, like unless a governor, a military leader, or some other political person says we're doing this, nobody's gonna be the first one. Nobody wants to be labeled a crazy person that went off and did something dumb.
Exactly. So you're gonna have to find a leader that people are willing to follow.
Yeah. And who's not afraid to put his own life on the line because he's gonna do it.
Yep. Like I said, with the people we've got nowadays, how the younger generation, you can't pull them away from a computer screen or game system.
Nope. It'd have to be like Justin. Well, I guess it's not Justin Bieber now. I don't know who's hot now. Cardi B? Shit. It'd have to be somebody that they recognize as, that they like already.
That's like my daughter's kids. You take the game systems and tablets away from them, they're completely lost. Hell, my granddaughter's got a smartwatch on.
Yeah. I made the mistake of giving my daughter a phone early on. I think she was like 11. It was a little bit too early for me. And, we try to like, okay, you can only, you can't use the apps, and we'd monitor it for a while, but that got laxed. We stopped doing it as much and shit. And I should have never done it. But yeah, you're right. The attention span of kids nowadays is something else. Lance Corporal Vet says Benjamin Franklin was given the Riot Act in front of Parliament by the Speaker after the Declaration of Independence was served to the Parliament. Yeah. I think you're right about the leader thing, though. Leader or, well, I guess I'd count somebody in political power as a leader as well. Have to be somebody people like. Could have been Trump, maybe. You think if Trump had said on January 6th, and this is just a hypothetical question, if he had actually wanted to do something and told people to go ahead and do something, would that have worked? Would there have been enough hardcore Trump supporters? And I'm not talking about everybody in this room because I'm not technically a Trump supporter. I voted for the guy, but he did a lot of shit I didn't like. But would that be enough? Something like that.
I look at Trump like the less of the two evils.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's pretty much every election cycle. I voted for McCain, because I didn't want Obama. I didn't want McCain. I voted for him when he was in Arizona as a senator, and after I did that, I found out more about him. Discovered I didn't like him either. I'm tired of the two-party system. Let's go back to the original constitutional way it was supposed to be. The Constitution says no parties, right? There was like, I don't know, 23 different parties that were running at the time of the first election. And whoever won became president, and whoever came in second became vice president. I like that. That's what I want. Let's have at least 10 people have to run, and the first runner-up is your vice. That's why nothing ever got done in Washington for a while, probably. I wonder when that stopped. Lance Corporal, do you know when that stopped? Does anybody know when that stopped? I want to have to look that up.
Oh, but it sounds like a neat way to do it.
Yeah. I learned that when, well, I think I'd already known it, but I remember it now because I'd watched the John Adams thing that they have on HBO. So we had gotten like one of those trial HBO things, so we had it for a month, and I was looking at things to watch on HBO that aren't totally going to try to indoctrinate me. And one of the things that came up on the search was, John Adams' little documentary on there. I watched that. That was amazing. If you have HBO on demand, I would definitely check that out if you haven't looked at it. Say again, I missed what you said. Oh, the original election. I don't know how long it lasted in our country's history, but I know when like George Washington was elected, there was plenty of people who ran. Like, I don't know, 20 maybe. The first person to win, or the person with the most votes, became president. The second person, the runner-up, became vice president. That's how John Adams became the first vice president. Is because he ran for president and he was the first runner-up to George Washington. So he became the vice president. I think I like that system. I'm kind of curious when they stopped it and what was the reasoning behind it. Probably because nothing got accomplished in Washington.
Well, what is getting accomplished in Washington that doesn't screw us?
Well, now a lot of things get accomplished in Washington just with a stroke of a pen. That whole executive order thing has been blown way out of proportion. The only
Like
reason,
I said, what gets accomplished that doesn't screw us?
yeah, yeah. There's only one. Like, I mean, the amendments too. Like every constitutional amendment has been violated one time or another, multiple times, including the second. The only one that says don't fuck with it.
They don't care.
No, because we're not doing anything about it.
They control the courts and shit, so they do whatever the fuck they want.
Ooh, OMG's making a big turn right there. Look at him cranking on that wheel, dude. Get it! Oh, he's got a turning face even. I wonder if he's backing up. He's turning it back and forth so damn much.
That's what it looks like. Looks like he's looking out his mirrors.
Yeah. I don't know what it ended, and nobody 1820 it already ended. Wow, 1820, that was quick. I'm gonna look into that history. Next week I'll bring that back to you. So I think I wanted to be, getting back to the question of the day. I think I might have, if it wasn't for my mother, probably a mechanic or some sort of fixing person, right? I love working on my own firearms. It's absolutely a pleasure of mine. So I thought about being a gunsmith for a while. Thought about going to the school and doing that. My dad was a mechanic, and I've always liked taking things apart and putting them back together. So figuring out how they work.
Like I said, I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's like I built the house.
That's no small thing. No.
Usually do a lot of my own mechanic work.
What year is your vehicles? Like, do you have the older stuff that you can actually work on, or do you have the newer stuff you need a computer to work on?
Well, let's see. The Yukon's a 99.
It's not too bad.
The Excursion's a 2001.
Still okay.
And the Subaru Forester's a 2001.
All right. Yeah, I got a 2007 truck, and it's hit or miss on if I can fix it myself or if I have to take it to a shop.
There's always a YouTube video on how to fix it.
Probably, yeah. Well, some of it I don't have the tools for. I've lived in apartments most of my life. Right now I am in a house, not my own. I rent this house. But really don't have any space for a lot of tools, and I don't know where I'm going yet quite next anyway, so it's like I think I'll wait.
Well, heck, the toolkit I carry with me in the back of my vehicle. A couple summers ago, when we went to the races in New Hampshire, the guy we bought the camper from blew a transmission seal in his pickup. Had me come ask me if I could come over and give him a hand. Between what I had in my toolbox and what he had in his tools with him that we just normally carry, we had enough tools and jacks to drop the transmission and transfer case. So he had an F-350 four-wheel drive.
Wow.
Pull it out from underneath it, change the seal, and put it all back together.
That might be an idea. Maybe I should get one of those toolboxes for the back of my truck. I don't have one of those.
Mm.
I've been thinking about that for a while anyway. It might be a good reason to do it and then start putting tools in it.
Home Depot's got a little kit up there now. It's a Husky box.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Husky toolkit. My daughter bought my son-in-law one for Christmas this year. He's already using it, but
Nice.
actually, we had to use one of his torque bits to change the blinker bulb in my truck tonight. So I asked him if he had a torque bit because I didn't know where mine were. And he goes, "Yeah, I got a brand new toolkit for Christmas." He goes over, pulls it out, opens it up.
Right on.
But there ain't a whole lot that we can't do to a vehicle and shit out here.
Yeah. Except for keep them from rusting.
Yeah. It's a Ford country on a quiet night. You can hear the Chevys rusting.
Oh, Fords rust just as good as Chevys do, unless you get those aluminum body ones, which, I mean, those are brand new now. So I don't know how much I'd be able to work on those, but, and I haven't really been sold on the whole aluminum body. I've heard they'll be they're easier to puncture, but I've also heard that they're not. There's conflicting shit on that. Do I care? Am I gonna drop a load from a bulldozer into the back of my truck of rocks? Probably not.
And not with a bulldozer anyway. You have to use a loader to do that.
Or something like that. Yeah. Well, I mean, I have done some things like that. I've had tractors fill up the back of my truck with like manure, but I ain't worried about it if it's aluminum with manure.
Manure ain't that heavy anyway.
No, done it with wood chips.
Hey, there you go.
Nothing.
Go get a bunch of pickup loads of manure and put a plant in each pickup load. Water the hell out of it.
Just leave my plants in the back of the truck.
There you go. You can run around town.
I drive around.
The wind just stiffens. Just stiffens the stalks a little more. That's all.
There you go. I have a woodworking shop for sale, tools, and some 88 Jeep trucks that I'm going to sell. Wow, 88 Jeep trucks? I'd ask how much, but I ain't got it. I already know I don't got it. Unless you're just selling it super duper fucking cheap. Which I doubt you are, because those old Jeep trucks are kind of sought after, I believe.
88 really ain't that old.
It is nowadays.
It
What is that?
now,
Almost 40 years?
Yeah, but if you're looking to go EMP proof, you got to drop back to before 74.
Really? 74?
Yeah. You got to at least get back to the old carburetor days in the manual fuel pump.
Yep.
And then you could find another distributor to drop in it.
One of the coolest things when I was a kid, my dad, when we'd work on cars, is he converted all of our vehicles to take a reusable like oil filter that you would use your toilet paper rolls with. Instead of buying a new oil filter, you just put in a new toilet paper roll and put the lid back on it. I thought that was the coolest thing. I know it's like most people know about. I don't know how many people had one, but we had them in every car. I always thought that was cool. I'd like to do that again at some point.
Never heard of that one. I've heard of it with fuel filters.
Really? You haven't heard of the oil
No,
filter one?
no,
Oh man, you should definitely check that out. It's cool. Yeah,
like I
it's
said, I've
not.
heard of it. I've heard of it with fuel filters.
I would have thought the gas would actually eat the toilet paper out though.
Not really.
Huh. Yeah, so you take the center cardboard out, and then the top would come off of this thing that was in your car, and inside was just a plate with a little bit of a lip on either side, so you know it wouldn't spill. And then there was a big tube. It looked like a paper towel dispenser. You know, it's just basically a tube. So you take that cardboard out and then fit it around that tube. Put the top back on. There you go. You changed your oil filter, and it's near the top of the vehicle. So I'll have to look that up since you don't know what that is. I'll either put that on the Discord or I'll tell you next week or maybe I'll text you. I don't know.
Never heard of that one. Like I said, I've seen like a diesel fuel filter and shit like that,
Hmm.
but that's the only place I've seen something like with a cartridge type replaceable.
Yeah, I don't know how much oil filters were back in the day, but you know, my dad's like, I'm saving money now. I don't have to buy a new one every time. I just toilet paper roll. I'm kind of in that
Well,
mode.
I'm kind of thinking like an oil filter though is still only $4 or $5.
Let me see if I can find it. Oops, can't do it over there.
And nowadays, a cheap roll of toilet paper is going to run you $1.50. So 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Convenience is you just spin that old one off, throw it, and you spin in a new one in its place.
All right.
Meantime, you ain't got to get your fingers so slimy, grab and hold that other fucking wet roll of fucking soggy toilet paper covered in old oil. Trying to get that out of there to put the new one in. I guess it would all depend on how you looked at it. Is you really saving, or it's going to take you an hour extra to do it? Is it really saving?
Yeah, there is that. But I mean, if you're putting in your work instead of your money, it kind of can be. I found something about it here. Hold on.
Heck, I don't even bother doing my own oil changes anymore.
Yeah, I haven't done an oil change on my vehicle in decades.
For what it costs to go out and buy the oil filter, and everything else, I can drive down to Prompto. It's going to cost me $4 more for them to do it, and I don't have to worry about getting rid of the old filter and the old oil.
Hmm.
And I don't have to get my hands dirty. Because hell, it's hard to find a place that'll take the old motor oil nowadays. I know one guy in Dixmont that'll take it, but hell, that's 35 miles from here.
Hmm.
Is it worth bringing him 2 gallons of used motor oil?
All right. All right. Well, I looked a little bit, and this is a newer version of it. I guess they still sell these things. $319.95. This one's for a Ford, but I mean they make them for all different ones. I'm gonna share the link if anybody's interested in it. You can all go look at it. It's just a kit for a Ford, but I'm sure there's many others. Where's my chat at?
Damn, it still sounds pricey.
Yeah. I mean, it all depends. These are usually placed high up on in the engine well, right? So
Yeah.
you can access it very easily. The only thing you have to get underground for is to drain the oil, and after that, yeah, you just on at the top of the hood, you just unscrew it, take the old one out, put a new one in, put it back on. It's simply like less than a couple minutes. You know, it's pretty quick.
Yeah, but still, $350.
Yep. I don't know if there's different prices, right? That was a quick look.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking like $350. You could buy like 100 filters for that.
Maybe. I don't know how much a oil filter for a Ford 7 point, oh, whatever that one is. 7.3 liter Ford Power Stroke one.
No, that's a diesel one.
Yeah. So that's, who knows? There's other
So
ones
that
out there though too.
well, that'll probably be like a $7, $8 filter.
Let's see. Vintage ones. Let me look at this vintage one because this is probably where I'm looking. Vintage France oil cleaner, toilet paper filter, all that. Missing the clamp on parts, but other than that, it's on it. It doesn't tell me how much. Lame.
Hey, what do you think of those tornadoes this week?
I didn't hear much about them because, as you know, I don't really pay attention to the news unless I'm talking about it. I know
Well,
people had gotten tornadoes because I guess I'd watched one little thing and it said that Biden's too busy doing something else instead of talking about these tornadoes. So I knew that there was tornadoes. I don't know where, how much
oh,
damage though.
it ripped up 5 states. A lot of fucking damn. Well,
Wow.
it hit the Amazon distribution center in Illinois and took out a 650-foot wall
Hmm.
and killed at least 6 people there.
Yeah.
The alarms were going off, and the bosses made the workers stay there and keep working instead of going for cover. The tornado come through and took out a big chunk of the building, killed a bunch of people along with it, and I guess now the union's going after them.
Really?
So those people should have been in safety and in shelters, not still out there working.
Yep.
And there's a couple of towns that are right completely gone in Kentucky.
Kentucky got hit pretty bad then?
Kentucky got ripped up real bad.
Oh, geez.
It was 5 states that got ripped up. Kentucky, Tennessee, Illinois,
I'm kind of surprised with Tennessee a little bit because it's so
parts of
mountainous.
Missouri, parts of Missouri.
Hmm.
I guess I said southeastern Missouri got hit pretty good too.
Okay, I found one for $125. It's an old one. I don't know. It'd be interesting. I wonder if that would work for something else you can use oil filters for. Huh. That's an
And
interesting thought.
I don't know how you'd baffle it through it though. You'd have to drill a bunch of holes in it or something.
Maybe. Well, yeah. I don't know. I don't really want to find out either because that's the 10 years. See, we got a couple comments I need to touch on here. See, I would. Oh wait, it cost me $66 for the last one. $66? Holy crap! Is that talking about the Jeep? Hey, OMG, you done driving? Looking at your phone pretty close. There you are.
Can't hear me now.
Yeah, yeah. You got it
I
working.
remember that I take off Bluetooth. I've been dropping loads and shit.
Oh yeah, you done with your run?
I just picking up my empties and going back to the shop.
How long until you're home?
About 3 hours.
Well, that's not too bad.
Yeah. I'm gonna go sit here and get my 30 in. No, I don't need a 30. I can make it back without it. Get that fucker out of here. Got a little doodle song on.
You need to get you a mount.
I need to get because you're coming through my phone speaker
Oh
when I'm
no.
driving. Right? So I gotta like leave the window up, but you ain't gonna be able to hear me. It's be too loud. I ain't gonna hear shit.
Yeah. I would imagine not. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're now stopped, so you can be part of it anyway. We got about another half an hour, and I want to get out of here, I guess. However, this should be the last time that I have to bounce early. After this, I should be free to stay on as long as y'all want. So I'm looking forward to that.
Y'all see when I was driving through Bridgewater?
Oh, yeah, when you were driving and showing the road, yeah, that was nice.
That's at college. Driving straight through the fucking middle of a college.
Wow.
I gotta go back through there again. In the summertime, during the day, there's some hot girls walking through there. Oh my god!
What do you think about the oil filters? Have you seen those ones where you put toilet paper in it? Maybe I am somebody who's knew about something that nobody else knew about.
I'm just thinking the toilet paper just disintegrates.
The oil filter silencers.
No,
Yeah,
that's
I'm on
oil filters for vehicles.
No,
Okay.
so my dad, when I was growing up, my dad got this oil filter kit. It was do it yourself. It mounted on the inside of the, fender in the hood area, right? And it basically was a replaceable oil filter. You'd take the top off, the whole top would come off, and you put a toilet paper roll in there without the cardboard, and then put the top back on, screwed it back on, and you're done. You change your oil filter. It's that quick. No tools required. It's just a big ass wing nut on top of it, right? And that's how all of our vehicles had oil filters. Were with those. And then that turned into the whole, I wonder how that would work as a suppressor if somebody wanted to do it legally by filing a Form 1, obviously.
Yeah, I have a compensator on the end of my AR that happens to be the same threads as a diesel oil filter.
Nice.
That will make it sound almost no sound. But see, since I don't have a tag stamp for that, I don't use it as that. I don't use it as a compressor mount. It just holds my compensator on the end of it. That's it.
Well, nowadays, these suppressor companies, they actually have the, what is it? The conversion nut or whatever that you basically, it's one size to fit the oil filter and another size to fit your barrel. And they sell those as a suppressor, the nut itself. Right. And then you can just put as many oil filters on it as you want legally, because the suppressor is the part that you keep. The oil filter is what you change out. Yours, yeah, I think you'd have to get each individual oil filter as a suppressor. And since they don't last for very long, it's not worth it.
Well, I think that I could register the compensator as because it goes on the end of the barrel where the
Yes.
And there's another like sleeve over top of it that holds the gas in and shoots a fireball at the front. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I for some reason I forgot.
That thing off.
The flash hider.
Yeah.
Are the same as like a
Yeah.
diesel filter for some diesel truck.
So for some reason, I forgot you said compensator. I thought it was direct thread to your barrel. But no, yes, the compensator itself, you could file a Form 1. It would take about 3 months and $100. And you could get your Form 1 back approved, and then you'd go get it serialized with whatever serial number they give you, right? Get it engraved on that compensator, and you've got a perfectly legal suppressor that you are legally allowed to go ahead and put oil filters on.
Well, why do I want to go around shooting an AR with a freaking giant oil ring off?
Well,
There is
here's
that.
the thing.
It'd be
You-
awful.
you
It
could
would
also-
have zero muzzle rise. It would not. It would zero muzzle rise. Zero.
Actually, you could put the filter on it till you shoot it
Not that much muzzle rise with an AR anyway, in my opinion, but
because
The thing probably, the filter probably weighs as much as the entire rifle.
well, the theory behind that is you call it a solvent trap till you pull that trigger once.
yeah.
Then once you got the hole in the end of the filter, then
Well, we ain't talking about doing stuff illegal. We all know we can do stuff illegal, but we got to word it in the way that, you go and get your Form 1 and you get your permission from the government to have your
like I
constitutional
said-
right.
Like I said, till you actually shoot it,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just,
it's a solvent
it's,
trap
it's
until I
just a
actually
solvent trap,
Yep.
which are illegal. Once you drill that hole in the bottom through it for the bullet to go through, then it becomes the thing you need.
However,
to
they went after a lot of people buying those solvent traps on sites in China or wherever and Wish and stuff. They were selling them all over, and apparently people were getting letters from the ATF and shit.
They're stepping in the mail.
Yeah.
And then come and knock on your fucking door and shoot your dog.
Yeah. Not me, man. I do everything legal by the book. I don't do anything bad.
Yeah, I don't got any NFA items that I anyway, so
I have one. I did buy one. I do have a trust, so I could buy more, but I've done it all legal. And for my situation, it depends on your situation. I don't recommend a suppressor for everybody, right? But in my situation, I live in a very small house in a very bad part of the neighborhood, all right? So if I have to deal with a crackhead in 3 a.m. busting through my window, which is very large and a security problem, and I've dealt with that a little bit, but I mean, it's still a big ass window. Now it has a few extra things so that people can't just quickly get through it. Yeah, if I have to shoot somebody in this small ass house, I don't want to. I've heard my guns without a suppressor on them. They're loud. I will go deaf. I don't want to go deaf. So I decided I'm going to get a suppressor just for in the house, and that's where I use it. Now I'll take it out to the rain or out to the desert or whatever and shoot it, but that's its purpose.
Well, up here we can actually hunt with them now, as long as we can legally own them.
That's cool.
They put it under the hearing protection bill.
Nice.
Before they wanted everybody in the area to hear the gunshot.
Oh, yeah. I never really understood the whole assassin thing. Like, if you make suppressors legal, there's going to be more killings on the street because, then you won't be able to hear the gunshot. I'm like, that is not
I
it.
got a dog looking at me once out.
All right. What's up? It's all a hoax. I have a permanent hearing loss from cutting loose with a rifle inside a small... See? I'm telling you. Exactly. I ain't doing that. And I only have the one.
my buddy Rob was a Navy Seabee, and he was in Afghanistan, and he rode with he was like the mechanic for a platoon of Marines, and they put him on the 50 cal machine gun on top of the Humvee when he went like working on stuff, and he had to use it, and he didn't have air protection, and now he has tinnitus. He has a constant ringing in his ears.
So my suppressor, if you didn't know, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people here know, but if anybody don't know, it's on a 300 blackout, which I have suppressed, self-defense ammunition. I believe the ammunition I have is Lehigh Defense. I need to test it. I had researched the hell out of 300 blackout subsonic hollow points, and most of them are shit. Like 95% or more don't open up because it's going too damn slow, right? It's subsonic. The Lehigh Defense, though, had made a round that was really good and opened up consistently. So that was the one I wanted to get, but they stopped selling. By the time I learned about them, they had stopped selling the actual full made cartridge, and now they were just making the projectile. So I bought the projectiles and I've made up a couple loads, and I was putting those in my magazines for home defense for a while until I found one day at the gun store. I'm like, I'm just looking for subsonic ammunition to go shooting with out in the desert. He says, this is all we got. And I look at the bullet. It's like over $2 a round. So I'm like, I want to look at this bullet because he said it was hollow points. And I see it, and I see that slit all the way down, full copper, 100% copper projectile. I'm like, that's a Lehigh. I think that's a Lehigh Defense bullet. So I'm hoping it is. I'm gonna do a test on it and see if it is. I might actually go shoot some jugs of water because I don't have no ballistics gel. But if it does open up, man, I'll be happy about that.
Well, the Lehigh defense bullets didn't really open up.
The ones I saw did.
They open up a hell of a wound channel, but the bullet themselves looks almost like you could reload it again, use it again.
Well, the ones that I saw that they tested.
It's the way that tip is. It just kind of plows makes for an awesome wound channel because it's just spreading everything right through as it's slicing its way through it.
Well, this one, it looks like a normal bullet, obviously. Well, except for it's all copper and it's got a slit all the way down to the case. Well, not just one slit, but three or four slits all the way down to the case.
It's almost like a Phillips bit.
And no. Can you go get that magazine real quick? Are you talking about the extreme penetrators?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't have the extreme penetrators. The magazine out of the 300 black, mine. No, these are hollow points, and the cavity goes all the way down. I don't know. I'll test it. Maybe I'll even film it. I've been talking with my friend Daniel. He's thinking about getting a 1911 pretty soon. When he does, we're going to go out to the desert and shoot it. So that'll be a perfect time to go test this thing. I got an old 5-gallon water jug for our water thing that leaks now.
What weight bullets are you using in the blackout?
These, I believe, are like 198 grain. But, I know my screen is kind of small.
That's a pretty good looking hollow point, though.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get the camera to adjust.
Yeah, I can see it. I can actually see it. Yeah. I was wondering, how's it run with like 170 grain bullet?
Oh, my 300 blackout will eat anything I put in it. I haven't shot these yet because they're like over $2 a round, and I haven't gone back to the desert since I picked these up. But these concern me because they are right up against the edge of that magazine. That is probably the closest I've had in a 300 blackout to not fitting in a magazine.
Because what I was thinking about is you take your 30-30 rounds of lead, your 170 grain. Those are designed to expand at a much lower velocity. Because if you look at the speed of a 30-30 is going, it ain't really traveling all that fast.
Well, 170 grain bullet in the 300 blackout most likely would not be subsonic, but I couldn't tell you unless I shot it through a chronograph or without a with a suppressor and listened for the crack.
Yeah. Oh, it's still.
But I also cast for 300 black. Well, I've gotten into casting for 300 black. The first round that I did, the mold was a little bit too big. I had to resize it like twice in order for it to chamber. But I'd picked up another mold for subsonics that I haven't used yet that I'm hoping to use, because if I can do subsonic lead with just powder coat on them so they don't let up my barrel, that's pretty much like a soft point. So it should mushroom up pretty good, I would imagine.
Yeah, as long as you're using a soft enough lead.
Yeah. I'll have to play around with that.
What I've been doing for a bullet to make them flatten out is what I did for my 44 mag was took wheel weights and put almost a third of pure plumber's lead in with it.
Oh, so you softened it up even more.
I softened it up even more so that way so that way it would flatten out. And I had gas checks for them anyway, so
Nice.
I can load them right up.
Yeah, with the 300 black at least and like 9mm, those are the two that I cast for right now. I don't use gas checks. It's not really necessary, at least from the people that I've learned from. They don't use them. And what I've shot with 9mm and a little bit of 300 blackout that I got to run, no problems at all with needing a gas check. And that's just an extra penny that I don't need to be spending on a round. So I don't. I do powder coat my bullets though, so they don't let up. That's all I do to them. I just powder coat them.
See, I was reloading for 44 mag.
Yeah, that's
So
going a little
basically-
bit. That's going a little faster.
It's pushing it a little faster, a little harder. So
Yeah.
gas checks stopped a lot of the letting.
The 9mm though that I've cast has never leaded, and that's going. I mean, it's going faster. It's going what, like 1,300 feet per second. That was before I had a chronograph though, so I need to go out and retest those and see how actually fast they're going. But they, nothing, no problem with the barrel, and they were pretty accurate. So I figured, it's good enough for me. I'm not shooting it for anything other than just getting more shooting in for a little bit cheaper,
Yeah.
But nowadays, every time I go to the range, even if it's my own remanufactured ammunition, it's a primer that I can't get back. Powder I'm okay with. I've got enough cases to last me forever because you can reuse 9mm and 300 blackout for indefinite.
Yeah.
And I can convert my 223s into 300 blackouts because I have all the equipment to do that. I haven't done it yet, but I could. I don't know. It's an interesting thing that I haven't really been doing much lately, but I kind of want to get back into reloading again. But as I said, the primers is the only thing kind of keeping me away from reloading right now.
See, the only thing holding me back from 9mm, besides finding a set of dies, is I've got about 200 small pistol primers left.
Yeah, I've got about 5,000, and I think I'm way too low. If primers ever get close,
I'm like that in the large pistol primers.
I got a few of those too because I was planning on reloading 45 and casting for 45 as well, but I never got into it yet. But I have all my cases, all my brass saved up, and I've got powder and I've got dies, so I could, if I bought projectiles, technically. Except for the Dillon, I have a Dillon, so I need to get a conversion kit for the 45, which I don't have, which is about $300. But yeah, I just can't get into reloading until but if primers come down to around $4, let's say $4 to $5 a pack of 100. Oh man, I'm stocking up. I'm stocking up. What's up, Fuzzy Fork?
I've been seeing videos of people having them for roughly around $60 at Rural King and stuff.
That's a lot less than it is around here, but it's still up there.
Yeah.
The cheapest I found was at a gun show. I got the guy's business card. I should give him a call, see if he's got any more in stock. It was a local manufacturer making primers, and he was selling them for, I think, $15. Wait, what was it? Was it it was $12 for a pack of 100, I believe. And that was the best deal I had found in so long. I bought, I think, like 100, or no, I bought, what was it? A couple. I bought $100 worth of them. Yeah.
Oh, I got a friend of mine went to North 40 Outfitters in Washington State. He bought small pistol primers and small rifle primers for $6.99 100 pack.
Damn. See, that I would be stocking up.
But they were limited to 5.
500 or 5,000? Yeah. Okay.
500. They were only selling them by the 100 pack.
Mm.
It's
Still.
like, hey, I'll take a couple bricks of them at that price.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd still every damn day be in there getting my 500.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That price. So Fuzzy Fork lost his hearing being in a small room with a bunch of women.
Yeah, the bitch too
You
much.
got nagged at a lot. That's what happened there. Fuzzy Fork, what did you want to be when you grew up? That's the question of the day on the Dragon. Oh, I could have that in the. I could have that right here. Hold on, I'm gonna do that. Let's see, text.
No dogs want in.
Go let him in. There we go. Shrink that down. Excuse me with my live editing. There we go. Let's see. Properties. There we go. Black. Dogs are happy to be back in, I think. Primers seem to be around $70 1,000 average. What? First of all, Fuzzy, you're finding primers. Second of all, you're finding them for $70 1,000. Where? Is it online? Is it at a local store? I can't find. I can find primers at the gun shows, but usually they're selling them for some well over $100 for 1,000. Sometimes I've seen them. I've seen them up to like $250 for 1,000 primers. I'm like, are you kidding me? I used to buy these for $40 at the most, and that's when I was overpaying. There ain't no way I'm paying that much for a primer now. That takes away all the reason for me to well, unless I was reloading precision. I don't reload for precision. I am messing around with it with my Lehigh defense rounds that I've already bought the projectiles for, right? But that was the first time I ever really reloaded for precision, and that's 300 blackout subsonic. So how much precision do you really need? Basically, I just need enough, plus a little bit under the sound, the sound barrier, and I'm good to go with those.
You're looking at a 2-inch group at 100 yards, plenty.
Yeah, well, 50 yards is pretty much my max. All right, Fuzzy, thanks for dropping in. We'll be back next week. Well, maybe we'll be back next week. Check us out, though, Friday nights.
Well, that should give you an inch group at 50.
He gets them at local stores. Dude, can you mail me some? I will send you extra money to do it.
The hazmat fee kill you.
No. Well, I'm not. Well, I mean, yeah, if you want to go around and do it legally.
You want to hear about precision?
Yeah.
All right. The AR came with a red dot. I never sighted it in. I took a red dot off, put a scope on it. Went to sight it in, could never get it sighted in. Took it off, put the red dot back on a magnifier. I've never sighted it in. So my AR has never been sighted in.
Really?
Yeah, I don't get to shoot it a lot, so I can't go to the range and go sight it in. So
All right.
I put a laser in the end of it, the bore laser and shit.
Yeah.
And I like
I'll get you on
sighted
paper.
it in my neighbor's house with the laser, but that's not perfect.
No.
I mean, I guess if I had to shoot somebody, I might send a massive. I can't even know if the Hancock can happen with that bitch up.
Well, that's the problem with my 308, my 30-06. I've got them bore sighted with the bore sighter on them, but I haven't got any damn bullets to go out and actually sight the damn thing in.
I ain't got nowhere to sight it in.
Oh, man.
I could just open up my fucking back door and shoot them out the back door to sight it in.
You live in Virginia,
I
man.
can't do that in my neighborhood.
Oh.
I got a 22 rifle that I bought a scope for the rifle, and I went to sight it in, and every time I shoot it, the zero would move, and I took it off and I tapped it on my palm, and I looked, and every time I would tap on my palm, it would move. It was a bad scope. So I took the scope off of my AR and put it on the 22.
That reminds me, I need a sight-in Kansas Hillbilly Preppers rifle again. We went out to the desert with my friend. He really never shot an AR. He never shot an AK, and he hadn't shot a pistol in a very long time, right? So he's kind of nervous. It'd been a while and all that. So we get out there. I get him a pound of tannerite. We put it in this dead cactus where this bird had hollowed out this dead cactus. And he's shooting like at least 3 mags at this thing. And I'm starting to think, man, I'm going to have to do this because he is all over the place. And it's cost. I'm seeing like 50 cents every time he shoots the damn thing. I've gone through 3 mags. He's gone through 3 mags. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to shoot the tannerite, but let me just shoot this paper and just see where it's shooting. And sure enough, that thing was way the fuck off. I sighted it in enough to where he eventually got it. And it was really cool. I still need to freaking put that video together. And but yeah, that was cool. I need to get it more precision though. I just go out to the desert, dude. You don't have no free land out there where you can just shoot.
I don't live in the desert. I live in the woods, man.
I know you live in the woods.
Find a gravel pit somewhere.
I'm just surprised you guys don't have any places out there like it. I mean, obviously you don't have desert.
We have a place where if I have a fishing license or a hunting license, there's a sighting range, and it's 150 yards, and I can go to it's free. And I can go there, but I gotta have a fishing license or a hunting license in order to be able to use it. And there's nobody like guarding the place. Like when you're there, people go there and goof off. And I went there one time, and a guy was shooting an illegal machine gun out there. But you gotta watch out because the game warden will pop up in there and make sure everybody's got their fishing license or a hunting license in order to be able, to be able to use it for the thing.
Wow.
Have you guys got a gravel pit in the area?
No, we have Luck Stone, but we in my part of Virginia, we're not even allowed to hunt with rifles.
Wow. Virginia.
Because there's no like wide open area where if you missed a deer or whatever, it wouldn't go have a possibility of hitting a residential house.
Wow. Virginia is then very populated, huh?
Yeah.
Where I live now, out in the mountains, there's areas where you're allowed to use a rifle for deer hunting, as long as you're in a tree stand.
Oh, damn. That would suck.
So around me, we go out to the desert. If it's public land and it's not fenced off, you're allowed to shoot as long as you're more than a quarter mile away from a main road. And the main road has to be paved. It can't be a dirt road, right? So dirt road you can shoot a little bit closer to. So there are places that everybody goes because it's the closest ones that meet all those requirements. And there's a mountain for a backdrop. And depending on where you want to be, I mean, you could do 500-600 yards. There ain't nobody out there checking for nothing because it's free land and it's free for you to do it. It's your constitutional right to shoot on on free land. So
Next time I come to Phoenix, dude, I'll have to get there early today and I'll bring my AR with me.
I'm telling you, man, it's a pleasure. There are other people out there shooting, but it's nothing like the actual shooting ranges around me. I don't go to the shooting ranges anymore because it's just so busy. You have to wait. There's a line of wait. There's a wait line to get to the shooting bench, and then it's so packed in because obviously there's a waiting period that you got people right next to you shooting off high-powered rifles and other things. It's distracting. It's hot. It's and then they have the range officers who are Nazis. Step behind this line to do this and step behind that line for this point. And okay, the range is cold. Go down there. And that's fine for somebody who's been around guns a while. But I remember going there the first time I ever shot as an adult and like not knowing the rules, and they will chew you out, kick you out, make you a fucking laughing stock of the range and just belittle you the whole damn time if you are in front of a line at a certain point, just a foot over. So I say fuck that, and I just go out to the desert now.
The first time I ever went to an actual range, the range master came up behind me while I was shooting and tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey man, nice gun." And I couldn't think of why he would call my 6-hour SP 2022 9mm a nice gun, and why he would take the time to walk over to tap me on the shoulder to tell me I had a nice gun, other than he wanted to see would I turn around with the gun.
Huh? He was trying to set you up?
Yeah. I think he was trying to test me because he'd never seen me there before. The first time I ever went to a range. But I shot all my life in the yard and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I grew up in areas where we could shoot pistols and shotguns and stuff.
Yeah.
But
See, I've grown up here in Maine. I've always been wherever we've been within walking distance of shooting areas.
Huh. When I lived down in
you walk in
Maricopa,
the backyard and start shooting the targets.
when I lived in Maricopa, which is south of Phoenix, it was country at the time. I think it's more populated now, but yeah, we could do that back in the day in the wash.
Yeah. My mom used to live in a house that we could walk right out the back door and stand on the back porch and shoot at the barn.
Well, I didn't think I'd blow the speakers out of this thing. I'd step out on the front porch and I off my pump.
Actually, your speakers cut out the volume. I know this from personal experience when I had a negligent discharge live. Well, not live on YouTube, but live on a call with another person. They never heard it. And the reason why is because it cut out on my microphone. If you ever record yourself on your phone or whatever, shooting out at the range, you'll notice that it's not horribly loud to your phone. It's because the microphone automatically reduces it when it hears something that maxes it out.
You had a negligent discharge.
Yep, a negligent discharge a few years back. Yep.
With a point in a safe direction?
It didn't hurt anybody, let's just put it that way. But it was close enough to where I decided that I need to come up with some better safety. Yeah, so it was on New Year's Eve, I believe, it was on New Year's Eve, and it was close to midnight, and there was a lot of fireworks going around the city, so nobody heard it because in the city of Phoenix they have this system where, well, first of all, it was in an apartment, so I don't know if they would have heard it or not, but my neighbors didn't even complain, and I lived in an apartment with neighbors right up above me, right next to me. Nobody ever called. I guess they thought it was just a firework, but it was my Saiga 12 gauge with a birdshot round, and yeah. So it was stupid on my part, absolutely 100%. Me being an idiot, and I've
probably couldn't have killed nobody with it unless you had him break in the head.
Yeah, well, still.
Fucked up their day, though.
Still, it's not like, yeah, you want to get shot with a bird shot? Not really.
Negligent discharges happen. As long as nobody gets hurt, look at it as a learning experience and don't do it again.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
This will not happen a lot. If somebody that has a lot of negligent discharges shouldn't even be owning a firearm at that point.
So I'm not going to name names because I don't want to name names, but there is a person who supposedly, all freedom loving, gun loving, all this stuff, talks. I think they're a bullshit artist personally, but they're talking about how one time they're such a good shot that one time when their friend was downrange setting up the targets again, he shot something right next to him without hitting the guy, and just to show his accuracy. Yeah. No, I know that. As soon as this motherfucker said that, I already made that mental note. Never take this person shooting. Because he doesn't.
If I was at a range and I walked down range, I was with some acquaintance that I didn't really like him.
Some bitch did that to me, I'd probably be returning the favor.
A pistol, concealed on my body.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say that if I heard a shot and then I seen the paper beside me, then I wouldn't turn around and start blasting at him and call it self-defense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as I said, I don't know if he actually did that, but he claimed it. As I said, I think he's a bullshit artist, right? So maybe he was just saying that to make me feel, like,
I
oh,
was at the
great shot.
sighting range I told you about,
Nice.
and I was, there's no range master there, so we all decide, and we all just decide we call cold range or whatever, and everybody knows not to shoot in range, and we all go down and take care of our targets and shit. And then this dude walked up while the range was cold, and I stayed back because I didn't need to mess with my targets because I hadn't hit any.
I'll be right back. I'm going to touch this puppy off.
All right.
And,
All right.
this guy
Go
walked
shoot
up
one on the
with,
dragon.
3.5 inch
fucking-
Magnum 12 gauge.
Oof.
And this dude walks up with a 30-30 fucking lever action and walks up to the window and just starts blasting. Pow, 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 pow. And all these guys are in the range ducking and running back up here. Who the fuck is shooting? I said, it won't me. And it won't be one other guy there.
Well, I think we're gonna yeah, that's crazy, dude. I won't take him to the range. I don't care if it was a bullshit story and it never happened or not. The fact is he thought it was cool to say it. Just to say it. Oh. There's a live shot on.
That's not even right.
Yeah. Whew.
Ears.
You didn't put ears on, Gerald? Oh, he probably can't hear me then. Well, I heard
it. Most of the dogs ran upstairs.
Yeah, we heard it. We definitely heard it.
Come here, Angel.
I only have 2 earmuffs for protection for shooting. I got one 3M headset that
girl.
reduces the sound and you can still hear shit.
Yeah.
And then I got a
Angel.
earmuffs.
Oh, I better
They
pat a
cut out all
dog.
the
She's
sound.
laying under the table, shaking like a leaf.
Yeah, poor dogs. Yeah, we just finally got electronic hearing protection just recently, and I'll tell you, I'm never going back again.
The problem with the electronic hearing protection, the one that I bought, the most common one, the 3M, they're not rated for rifle.
I got the razors.
A lot of them you still have to use the earplugs underneath of them if you're shooting rifle.
Oh, fuck that shit. Well, I mean, if it was a high-powered rifle, I guess maybe. But, dude, I'm only using the electronics. I ain't doing the whole reason for the electronics was so I didn't have to put the earplugs in, dude. I can't hear shit with those fucking things in.
You don't want to get hearing damage from the loud concussions of a rifle.
Yeah, I know.
I know you know what they sound like. So.
Yeah, I've shot them without hearing protection.
That was only a 12
I
gauge.
took that bird cage off my AR, put that compensator on, and it doubled in loud.
3.5 inch
Yeah,
Magnum.
3.5. I shot 3-inch magnums, and that hurt my shoulder enough to where I don't want to do it all the damn time. I don't know about 3.5. Fuck.
It's
And
fine.
you don't even have a.
AR makes like a foaming concussion sound, like boom.
It's
Like,
smart.
These guys were shooting like 308s and shit, and like these big, high, like large caliber rounds at the shooting range one time, and it was
308,
thumping so hard you could feel it in your chest.
Wow.
And when I put that compensator on my AR, that's what it made the AR sound like. A big ass fireball.
The 308 ain't bad.
You're definitely not going to hide if you're shooting that AR in some group of combatants, and you don't want them to know where you're at. You're not going to be able to hide with it.
Right.
About anything I've got here at the house, if it goes off, everybody in the neighborhood hears it. Well, the only thing they won't hear is the 22 or the 9mm. But I'm pretty sure they probably hear the 9 too.
Probably. At least a little bit.
Yeah, that was a 3.5 inch double odd. I've got my 7mm mag sitting right next to it.
Well, gents, I need to get off of here. It's been a pleasure, as always, and I'm sorry that I have to leave early, but I do need to spend time with my daughter, and this is the time that she has that she's available. So, sorry, but she's more important than y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, if y'all want me to be up in here more often, let me know, and I'll get the proper thing so I don't have to. I can have a headset. Y'all can hear me better. I'm able to hear y'all better, and
Hell
That's
yeah.
more proper than
Yeah.
the way
Yeah,
we're
dude.
doing it right now.
You're
You
a
see me?
You're 100% welcome to be here anytime you want, dude. Every Friday night. I don't know about next week. I'm gonna try to do next week, but I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. Gerald's not in my Discord. I know you are. I'll put it in the Discord and maybe I'll text it to you, Gerald, if I want to do it
Okay.
next Friday night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do gotta go, and yeah, I hope to see you back, OMG. I love having you on here, dude. Seriously.
And how? When was the last time somebody actually fired a shotgun
It's
live
been
on
a
the
while. It's been a while. I don't know about shotgun. I
Hopefully,
know.
one of the times I get down to Phoenix, I can stay longer than I've been able to the last 2 times, man.
Hell yeah, dude. I'll take you out to the desert. We'll go have a great time, dude.
My load wasn't ready till midnight that night. By the way, I sat there till midnight.
And
All right.
all I did was go out and stand on my front porch.
Yeah, no, fuck you. I know how that is, Gerald. I had that. I lived that. When I lived in Ash Fork, I had that. I had 40 acres. I could shoot whatever the fuck I wanted out there. Nobody gave a shit because everybody else had guns and shot on their land too. I miss that
Yep.
shit, and I'm trying to get back to it. I'm gonna get there.
Oh, that
Yeah,
going that way, the direction I
My
shot.
house has got to have enough land that I can have a shooting range when I go into.
Yep.
We've got about 600 yards of thick, heavy wooded area. It's real swampy, so we know there ain't nothing down in there. And then beyond that, it goes uphill the other side of the stream.
Nice.
We'd basically be shooting into a hill if a bullet made it that far anyway. There's too many trees in between here and there to stop it. So,
All right. Well, OMG, if you ever are in Phoenix and have some time, we'll definitely do that. And as I said, you're more than welcome here. And next Friday, I'll let y'all know if we're going to be doing it or not. But I do have to bounce. So if you guys want to keep chatting amongst yourselves, you're more than welcome to do that as well. But I do have to head out. So.
yeah, I'm going to see what else is going on here on the YouTube.
All right, man. I'll see you guys soon. Maybe I'll do a not a catch up, but something like that on my channel next week at some point, probably Monday or Tuesday. All right, guys. See you later. Peace.
All right, see you later.
See ya.
Take it easy. Yep, bye.
All right. So thank you to everybody who's still watching and being here. We got 4 people watching. Gerald might be one. OMG might be one. Nugs might be one. I might be one. I doubt I'm one. I'm sure we got one other person lurking. Thank you very much for being part of the Dragon. We will be doing it again soon. As I said, I don't know if we're going to be doing it next Friday or not. But make sure you subscribe, ring all the bells, and all that fun stuff. We have descriptions down below, and in those descriptions, we have a few links. Check them out if you want. It's all the places to follow. There's some Amazon links for stuff that I've actually bought. Places to follow me personally, not the Dragon. And yeah, hopefully we'll be back soon. Maybe we will have a Christmas Eve Dragon. That would be fun. Maybe Mule Team would be here. That'd be cool. Mule Team hasn't been here for a couple of weeks, so I'd love to see that. But I'm going to head out. It was fun hanging out.